Just when America has reached a breaking point with division, visionary influencer Danni Benson's I'm Proud of You Sis bro movement taps into the pulse and heartbeat of a culture radically torn. But this loving mom's voice of reason and calm has received national recognition.
How do you balance having your children and always traveling with the Yankee organization?
When I became a dad, I said that I would always love like a mother.
I feel like I have to hide certain things or act a different way because I know some people or some kids.
So join Danni Benson as she celebrates her special guests on her show and highlights their gifts and contributions to our world.
Hi, everyone. Hey, happy hump day. It is Wednesday. How are you guys doing out there? Please like, share, follow, comment. This is Danni Benson, host of I'm Proud of You Sis. I am so happy you are here with me on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. And you can watch me on Optimum cable every Saturday at 9 a.m. So if you missed this show, you can rewatch me on cable on Optimum Channel 20 at 9 a.m. on Saturdays. How's everybody doing today? I want to give a shout out to Ann and Mickey for watching I'm Proud of You Sis. Thank you so much. Like, all the support is so appreciated. I also want to say happy Chinese New Year to all of my followers and people who are watching this, who celebrate the Chinese New Year this Sunday going into Monday. I hope you guys had a great time with your family. It is a year of the rabbit. So I just want to say happy belated New Year. But I know in China, a lot of things are closed down. So I think the celebration goes on for just more than one day. So that's why I'm saying happy New Year, even though it's a Wednesday. Hey, everyone. I have an amazing guest coming on my show. Today's topic is Self-Love Day. I mean, I'm hearing so many people talking about, self-love, mental health, putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, self-care. I think just like in school, sometimes they teach you the things that you need to survive, like, not need to survive, but they teach you like math, English, language arts, like they teach you those things, to make your IQ as stellar as possible. But I wish schools would also start talking about the emotional intelligence that kids need to know and understand, because I think your IQ goes hand in hand with your emotional intelligence, because you could be the smartest person in the room, but if your emotional intelligence is not as par, you can make poor decisions sometimes. Or if you don't have the love that you're pouring into yourself, your self-esteem might be low, your self-worth might be low, and that might affect your decision making also. I just want to say, just like in The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy was, met the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion, because she was trying to get back home, and then she met the Good Witch, and when she finally met the Good Witch said to her, "The power was always in you," and that really stuck with me, like through my whole life, because no matter how things might look in the outside, I always understood that I had to pour the love for me in the inside to be able to champion and follow, and to get through, because life gets hard. Life is a roller coaster, guys. So we got to get ready for the ride. And as long as you put the care into yourself, and, even if you have to do mental health checkups with a therapist, and that's okay also, because your brain is an organ. Remember that. So just like you go and check your heart, if you have heart issues and Yeah, especially in my culture, um, we like to pray things off sometimes, and that is great. I am a prayer warrior, but that doesn't mean that I don't go to a cardiologist and check my heart. So that's the same thing with mental health, because your brain is an organ and it's okay to go get it checked out, even if you're okay, just to make sure by a medical professional who is licensed that you are okay. So, I want to introduce this video, a self love day that was made on February 13th, 2020. This is my mission, my purpose in life. Um, I love the babies, I love the youth, I love the children, I love humanity. And I wanted to bring the world together collectively. And it's the human race. I know we have all these labels, and that's fine. But I just have to remind people that we are humans first, and that is a commonality. And there's no one on this earth that can say that's the one thing that we have in common is the fact that we are human. So I want to have a label of unity, of us being humans. So this is why I pursued so hard for Self Love Day, and I dedicated to Giselle and Lunde. So please watch the video. Thank you.
Chamber by Danni Benson and her two daughters, Giselle and London, who traveled to Albany from my district. Danni cares deeply about her fellow New Yorkers and especially New York's children. She is the founder of I'm Proud of You Sis. She has made a goal of hers to make sure that every child and every person feels valid, feels worthy, and feels love, even if that is from the simple of self-love. Later this morning, we'll be taking up resolution, which will proclaim February 13 today as Self-Love Day in the state of New York. Self-Love Day recognizes the importance of mental health awareness, self-care, and the importance for our youth to understand the importance of self-worth in order to help combat our mental health crisis. With suicide rising, and in particular among our youth, it's imperative that we continue to raise awareness in this body so that we can continue working on the real, tangible solutions. It is my coincidence that Self-Love Day takes place one day before Valentine's Day, to underscore that everyone is loved and that we need to continue showing love to one another. Danni has helped bring this message to Albany and to our state. And please join me in giving her a warm welcome to this chamber, and her daughters, Mr. Speaker, afford her all the privileges of the
Hi, everyone. Hey, I don't know what happened. Hi, everyone. Is everyone there? Hello?
Danni, we are good to go. You just you lost for a second and you came back, but we played the video and you're good to go. Linda Linn is
Okay.
in the waiting room. Sorry about that.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yes,
You
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Okay. Okay, I was scared there for a second.
No, I can't, but I can't see you though.
You can't see me.
No,
I can see you.
you can see me. I can't see you
Yes.
though. Hello? What is going on here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Well, my camera's on because I'm seeing you.
Okay. Bobby.
Linda, yeah, you have no video, Linda. It's not here. So let me remove you and bring you back in, see if it works. All right. So you are not going to be able to, you got to sign off and sign back in again. Your camera disconnected.
But how come I can see you right now?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with your camera. You're watching through the program, but your camera's not picking up. It's not recognizing your camera. I'm sorry, honey.
Okay,
You gotta get out. You
get
gotta
out and come back in?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Hey everybody! Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. It's okay. Like I was telling you, such c'est la vie, which is French, meaning such is life. C'est la vie. So things happen, but you have to either in life you gotta roll with the punches, get up, dust yourself off again, and start over. Or you can get into a place where it's like, woe is me, and you feel sorry for yourself, and nothing really gets accomplished when you feel sorry for yourself, because then you stay in a rut and time keeps moving forward, but you stay right where you are. That's why I was saying to everybody that therapy is important, because of the simple fact that if you feel like you're in that rut, if you feel like your wheels are not turning, if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, because we all go through those times in life. There's no human being on this earth, no matter your class system, your race, your religion, your ethnicity, your age, we all go through ruts in life. And the difference is, are we going to press the brake? Like, when you're stuck in the mud or you're stuck in the snow, are you going to press the brake and move forward and go so you can get out that rut? Or are you just going to sit there and keep spinning and spinning and spinning and being stuck there? So sometimes, you know how you need that person coming behind the car to push you forward? So sometimes your tire is spinning and spinning and spinning, but that's what a therapist is for. They come behind your car and they push you forward. But I want to introduce the amazing Linda Linn to the show. She is the host of Could Be You TV. She is a veteran, a singer, a wife, a mom, an entrepreneur. First of all, I'm so proud of her. Want to give her flowers. This is the second time she's been on my show. That's how much she believes in me, because we believe in women collaboration, women empowerment, just building each other up. So we're definitely on the same page with that. But I wanted to talk to her about her self-love. I mean, Linda is beautiful inside and out. Okay. She's a mommy of two, a boy and a girl, amazing wife, amazing partner, and she has so many different species in her house, animals. So I wanted to have the amazing Linda Linn coming to my show, give her my flowers, and have the viewers meet this woman. And I wanted to ask her, like, what is her self-care routine? She's glowing. And I know she probably goes through good times and bad times, but I wanted to hear her perspective. So welcome Linda Linn to the show. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much, Danny. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Look, let me tell you something. I saw you yesterday and I just was
Yes.
I was on Linda's show yesterday, Could Be You TV. She had me
That's
as a
right.
guest.
Yay.
So you know what? This is what women empowerment is. We return the favor. We support each
Absolutely.
other. We can both have our own shows, and
Of
we're
course.
our
Everyone can
unique
have their
self.
own show.
Yeah, we are unique selves. So it's like whatever I bring, you bring. And this is what the message of I'm Proud of You Sis is. It's the fact that we all have our uniqueness. So we can all
Absolutely.
be in the same lane, but what I bring to the table is not what Linda brings to the table or what the next one brings to the table. I just like a fingerprint. There's not an exact copy of a fingerprint. Look at God. Not all these billions of people in the world, and not one fingerprint is the same. That is amazing.
It
Right?
is amazing.
That is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk to Linda. I want to know, first of all, how do you keep your skin glowing?
Well, thank you. I didn't even know it was glowing, but if you say so,
You
it's
are,
probably the
girl.
lighting.
You're
It's probably the lighting, I don't know. I guess I try to, have a regimen going, I don't have a strict one. I don't have, I think I'm blessed that I have my daughter, Tiana, shout out to her, because her as a not only as a makeup artist, but a licensed esthetician, and now an eyebrow tech. I follow her routine, whatever she goes, whatever she says, because she has to have the best of the best. She knows what goes with what. And I just kind of like, oh, is that for this? Is that for that? Oh, let me try it. So she'll, so I kind of like go off of her, and I'll ask her, is this good for, my skin? Can I do, so I just try to keep up a little bit, because if you see her face, she's absolutely flawless,
I
So
mean,
as we
she
get
got it from her
older,
mama.
we kind of lose that though, so I just try to keep up a little bit, but I do try my best to do, the typical, make sure you wash your face entirely. I try not to go to bed with makeup on, moisturize, at nighttime, in the morning, I'm trying this new, routine where I'm like splashing cold water on my face, and then we have like they're like these little globes that are filled with water, and you put them in the freezer, and then like it's like you roll them over your face for a couple of minutes, and it's supposed to like depuffs your face, and I have a lot of puffiness, because I suffer from environmental issues, like a lot of allergies, like
Really?
constantly in my sinus, like my face is like my sinuses, everything. I'm always kind of puffed up, so it kind of helped me. And it doesn't, hurt to have the right makeup. Still to this day, I'm still trying to figure out the exact, you know, makeup products. It makes a difference in how your skin looks. So that's basically, I just try to follow, whatever I can get my hands on. It's like, oh, when you go to Sephora and you stay there
Yes.
for hours, like I'm there for hours.
Hours.
Like you need me, and
Hours.
don't ask. I'll be there, like, because you just want to try everything. You want to, so that's where you'll find me most of the time.
Yo, that's me too. I'm always like, you could ask the people that know me for a very long time. They used to call me mommy because I used to always like always have a slap of like moisturizer in my face. Like
Yeah.
people used to come to my house and be like, "What? Like, mommy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to preserve.
Trying to
I'm trying
preserve,
to
right?
preserve
I hope
this."
so. I want to be preserved like a mummy. I want to find that. I hope they'll come up with the product soon.
So okay, so let me ask you another question. How do you take care of your heart? Like what advice you would give to the youth? Because I know you and I, we've been through our like heartbreaks. Because I know you've been married for a long time, but I know before your husband, you've had your couple of guys like heartbreaks and stuff like that. And we were discussing self-love day, and sometimes like with Valentine's Day,
Right.
you were saying like your routine with your family is on Valentine's Day, you and your family are together, go to dinner, but you and your son like partner and give love to each other, and your
Right.
husband, your daughter partner
Yes.
and give love to each other. So not everyone in the world has like this horrible Valentine's Day thing, but
Right.
in our society now, there's more single people more than ever, and people who are choosing not to be committed or not to be married. So sometimes it might be like a weird day, since it's like it is a you said it's a day of loving. I get that,
Right.
but for other people it might not be that great day of loving. So how do you keep your heart okay, and what do you tell your daughter about protecting her heart against just dating?
Right. Well, overall, just trying to protect your daughter from everything, it's hard, but I have to say that she's my daughter's 23. So she's a mature 23-year-old, and even before, when she was in high school, and I didn't have to worry. I guess I was blessed in that way, that I didn't have to worry so much about her, as far as getting into typical teenage trouble in school, boys and all that. I'm sure she's probably gone through her heartbreaks, and I don't even know it, and I'm sad if she did. But I believe that it's like a growing process. It's like the growing pains. I believe that you're protecting your heart is how you handle it. It comes with maturity. You know, I believe that insecurities play a large part in how you're protecting your heart. If you have these young girls who, especially nowadays with the whole social media and the whole, facade of how they're looking, and you know, everything is about fashion and you know, portraying a certain image. And yes, a lot of girls can't reach to that, you know, to that status of how, oh, you know, so they compare themselves a lot, you know. And little do they know, I mean, little do they know that a lot of these girls, if you only knew, they're just like everyone else. But you know what, with the advancements we have with these phones and these apps, you can, you know, you make yourself look like a superstar, like a model straight out of, you know, magazine. So I wouldn't be so hard, you know, on yourself, you know, because we all, as women especially, you know, we all have our insecurities. You know, we all wake up and oh my God, you know, there goes my gray hair, which by the way, I let mine grow out because after a while I was just like, I'm tired of this already. I'm just gonna let it grow out, you know, or my wrinkles, you know, or you know, you as a woman, it's only natural, you know, it's only natural to have insecurities, but it's not, you know, you don't let it get to you where it's gonna, you know, it's going to imbalance your mental state, you know, or you can't, you know, you don't, not gonna live your daily life thinking about other people or other girls or how I feel and I'm not pretty enough, or he, you know, she's with him because she's pretty and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I see that a lot, especially nowadays.
Because
Um,
you know why? Because I tell my girls like social media is entertainment. It's not real. So
it is not real. It's like a
that's
live
how I kind of
reality
like,
show.
yeah, that's how I kind of like, I'm trying to get them prepared because they're not really on social media. I
Well, it's
think my
good. Let's try
kids
to
are
keep
like,
them as much as we can.
yeah, they're not.
But eventually they're gonna
I
find their
know.
way because it's
You
just
know, it's weird about
society
my kids.
itself.
It's weird about my kids because, you know, like even the teachers be like, your kids actually act like little like kids, and I'm like, I mean that's how a 9-year
That's
old
how
is
you
supposed to
want,
act. You
right?
know, it's not.
Exactly.
I don't. I want my kids to kind of grow up slowly because
Absolutely.
the world is so rough that I don't think their maturity at 9 years old could handle the roughness of
Absolutely.
the world.
You don't want them to. You want them, like you said, you want them to grow slowly, enjoy how the kids back in the day before social media used to enjoy, you know, being a kid. You know, now I believe because of social media, they're kind of growing up a little bit too fast and they're missing out. They're kind of like skipping that part of you know, being a typical kid, you know.
You know what? You know what's in, I was like on the train the other day and I was listening to conversations of like younger kids, like probably like your daughter's age. And I was cracking up because they were like, I can't believe we were rushing through life the way we were because now we have to pay rent. Now we have to get food. Now it's like, I didn't know it was this hard. And I was like chuckling because it's so funny how kids want to be, I want to be an adult. I don't want to listen to your rules. And I always tell my kids, like, are you sure you want to be an adult? Because this ain't for like it's not easy. And
Absolutely. No, it's
they
not.
don't really process it. They just don't like the rules in the house. So they feel like if they could
Right.
rush to become an adult and make their own decisions,
That they don't
then they
have,
feel like
right.
they're free until you find out what it costs to make your own decisions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It,
You
it,
have
it,
to
it,
let them, it's like you got to let them free, let them figure out on their own, because sometimes no matter how much you tell them something, or you know, and like me, you know, like I'll speak from experience. Like I'm only telling them because obviously I want the best for you and I'm your mom and I'm here to protect you. So I'm going to tell you of experiences, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't this, maybe you shouldn't that, and you know, or maybe you should. And not all the time do they listen, and sometimes they have to find out the hard way. And I'm not there to say I told you so, but I told you so. You know, like, so sometimes you just have to like let them figure out on their own. You know, sometimes they want to go through that. You know, they don't want to, you know, like I know my son for sure, he's so level headed and very mature for his age that no matter what I say to him to avoid certain things that he doesn't have to go through, um you know, he'll want to go through anyways, you know, not just to know what is that I'm trying to protect him from. You know, it's not just like don't do it, okay, I won't do it, because then in his mind he's like, well, what would happen, how will I learn if I don't make that mistake, you know? So
and
you
you know
know,
what? And you know what? I realize that kids have to learn a mistake because
right.
I have I do have people like friends in my life who really protect their kids. But you know what? I always say to them, you're not going to be here forever. Your kids have to have some sort of street smart. Your kid has to have some sort of like, they gotta take risk on their own, because if you keep them too safe all the time,
right.
they're gonna be afraid to take risk. And in life, when you're successful, most people have to take risk instead of like doing like the same thing that's so easy, and sometimes you have to do the road less traveled to learn, because it builds up the character.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd only learn through experience, and if you didn't go through it, how do you know? It's like that saying, how do you know if you don't try it? Unfortunately, you don't want them to try and fall and hit their head with their on the ground after saying don't do it, because that's what's going to happen. But if they don't go through with the process, it's not going to hit them, to say, holy cow, maybe this is my wake up call. Maybe I should, she warned me, or they warned me, but I didn't want to listen. But now I know better for next time. That's what I'm hoping that. Yeah.
So you have the mom department, check. Skin department, clear skin, beautiful skin, check. So let's talk about you being a wife. How do you incorporate your self-love? Because now you have to compromise sometimes with your husband. So how does that work? How do you take care of yourself? Because sometimes I'll see married people and they look like a hot mess. Right. And I'm like, wow, is marriage stressing you out? Are you forgetting about who you are? Are you so how do you manage that? How do you manage, being a wife, being a partner, but also making sure that you keep yourself in the grace of love and not losing yourself?
Right. I mean,
first of all, how long have you been married, so everyone knows like your perspective?
I'm married 25 years.
Wow. Hey, yes. That's a silver anniversary.
Yes, it is.
They don't make those anymore.
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones.
Well, that's great. So tell me, like, how do you manage that? Like 25 years of partnering with someone, how do you not lose yourself?
Well, I'm sure I've lost myself plenty of times. I just found my way back. I find myself again. I think everybody goes through that, if whoever does it, and not just in a marriage, in any kind of relationship, nothing is perfect. Things were always, you have your ups and downs like everything else. It's a matter of, like they say, it's a communication thing. It's like you talk it out and you figure out how to make it better, how to make it work. Listen, like everybody, you argue, you fight, you don't talk, then you talk again, and then it's like you go through. I mean, I've been through it all for 25 years. I'm not gonna sit here and think that we're like angels and oh, we never had an argument, we don't fight, oh yeah, everything's blissful. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your moments. It's like anything else. I have to say that I am blessed, that I do have a very supportive partner. My husband is very supportive of what I do. He's also in the entertainment world, so he understands. That's very important. That he understands where I'm going with everything that I am doing in life. It's like, so when we met, when I first started dating him, when I was, I was in this way before I met him. I was in my early 20s, and I did everything, from the modeling, and I was a boxing card girl, with the ring card girls, and I did beauty pageants, and I used to take him to these events with me just so he can understand my world. So he would know, this is what I do. Wow, this is her dream. This is her passion, so there's no conflict later on. Oh, I never knew you wanted to do this. So I didn't, it's just like, well, how can you say nah? You what, what I'm saying? So that right off the bat is very important for whoever is getting into a relationship or into some kind of, that you have to be, totally like yourself from the beginning. Don't take it if you're a certain way, like if we lived a certain lifestyle, like, now we're together, we're going to do it together, but it doesn't mean that you're not your own person and you still do you. I still have my hobbies, I still have my friends, I still have what I like to do. And as he's so into his sports, I hardly ever saw him sometimes. He worked and went straight to work, overtime, and then straight to playing 3 or 4 football games or baseball games, what have you. I really was not the one to like complain, because I knew that's what he loved to do. You know, it's what fulfilled him. It's what made him look forward to the weekends after working, you know, so many long hours. And this is his passion. So, so it's just a balance and understanding, you know, that you are individuals and you do have your like you don't, just because you're married doesn't mean, or in a relationship doesn't mean that you have to do everything together and that you can't do this on your own or that on your own, because that's not what, you know, it's about doing you, self-love, taking care of you.
Yeah.
And then you have your time, you know, if you're in a relationship or you're married, you're not going anywhere, you know. So it's not necessary to be stuck, you know, by the hip 24/7. You know,
Yeah.
it's not healthy either. You know, you need your time apart. And so
Yeah, and that's what the self-love is about, because the self-love is pouring love inside of you. So even though you are married and he's pouring love into you, you're pouring love into him, you also can't forget to pour love into yourself.
absolutely.
And
We
that is,
complement each other, you know, we complement, not compliments as far as, you know, telling her how handsome and beautiful we are, you know. Once in a while you got to throw that in too, you know. It doesn't, you can't forget that. But
yeah.
it just it's a balance of how you are, and people not always would understand. You might get along great when it comes to like if you're in a family setting at home, but once you're out and let's say your partner does something totally different that you don't, and you might feel like, you know, when you go to a party and all the co-workers and you feel out, you know, because you're not understanding, or you might feel like, you know,
You're
like
like you're
you
outside.
have
You might
to,
feel like an outsider.
like an outsider, right? But you know, so that's, you know, that's just the insecurity as well, you know. I'm you know, I'm happy, you know, that we don't have those really issues of insecurity, jealousy and stuff like that, because that really comes to like that can ruin a person, you know, not only ruin yourself, but they can ruin the relationship. When you have insecurities and you're constantly questioning and you're constantly worrying about more, you know, what the person is doing instead of doing for yourself, self-love and more, you know, that affects you mentally as well, and puts strain on the relationship, you know. So it's a matter of like, if you're in this relationship, it means, you know, you have to either work at it to make it, you know, or figure out why you have these insecurities or why you're so you know, like nobody likes to be in a situation where it's constant fighting or
Fighting,
arguing, like it's more, you
arguing,
know,
not
like,
getting along.
or who, you know, like, yeah, it's, you know. But I can, you know, like I do have a lot of people who would ask me, oh my God, what's your secret, you know, to your long marriage, or, you know, I want to be like you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I can't tell you, I don't have a secret, but whatever works for us or what works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You know, like I live, you know, we're just two people who just get along amazingly, and we know each other so well, and we just vibe with each other, you know. And it's just a matter of finding your connection, just finding basically your soulmate, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
about finding your person.
it's finding your person. He's my person.
He's your person. You know why he's your person though? Because you guys allow each other to be yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, and people have to understand that when you meet someone, if you want to change them, sometimes I feel like they're not the person for you, because I feel like who they are when you meet them is who they are. And if your goal is to try to change that person, I think you're going to be miserable. So I think you should first start with just pouring love into yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, you get
But you
it.
know,
Like,
it's so funny. It's a funny story because he always says this story, like when we first met and how we like when he proposed to me and all that. So his story goes that so before he, well, it was not a story, it actually happened, but he just loves to say it because it's like before he was he got down on his hands and, you know, on his knees to propose, one of his requirements before he puts the ring on, one of them was that that whatever happens or whatever, you know, but like to never take away his sports,
to
you
never
know,
take away his what?
sports.
The sports. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because he was
okay.
very into sports. So he didn't want, once again, like we met, this is what he was doing. This is his life. So he didn't want to think like, oh, once we get into a relationship, like, don't tell me, don't play, or that, because that at that moment when I have that's what's his passion. Just as music is my passion, sports was his passion as well. So all he says, like, please just don't, we can do anything else, anything you want, but don't take away my sports. And of course, why would I even have a problem with that? Like, I watched him all the time play. And so, and one of his other requirements was, I want a boy and a girl. Okay. And he said, I don't care how many boys we have, we're not going to stop until we have the girl. And I don't care how many girls we have, I'm not going to stop until
you have the boy.
I don't know. I think that God was on my side, and he really kind of blessed me, gave me my boy, my girl. And I was like,
and you were done.
He was like, okay, I kind of want it more. And I'm like, well, you said you're boy and a girl, and there goes your boy and a girl. So I fulfill my requirements. Okay.
Before you got the ring, he gave you his needs and his wants. Yes, and you promised him that you would fulfill those. And how can he be mad at you? Because you committed to those things. You followed through.
Absolutely.
So it's all about keeping your commitments. Like,
and
when you get married, there's things like you said, will be a deal breaker. Like, this is what I need, and this is what I don't want. And I feel like if you say yes, then I think you're agreeing to that. And I think if you, like, once you're married, all of a sudden you want to change him now and say,
right,
yo, the sports is getting in the way. The sports is getting in the way. You can't do that.
You can't do that. Absolutely not. Yeah, that would be a conflict, though. But thank God we got out of that. And
but I think that's why your marriage probably is lasting the way it is, because I think a lot of people make these promises and commitments to get the ring, to wear the dress, to the groom to walk down the aisle.
A lot of people
say anything. Yeah. They'll say anything. Yes. And then what happens is, once you are like married and locked in, now they're like,
it's sad. It is sad because I truly believe that a lot of people, and it's sad to say it, especially the women, they're in love with the idea of getting married. They're not aware of what marriage is.
They're not aware of marriage's work.
Exactly. They're just thinking exactly that. The wedding day, where is it going to be at, and my dress, and all the people going to be in, the gifts, and that, and then after that, it's like, okay, it's over. So, oh, we're doing this for real? Like, yeah, you commit, so,
yeah. Well, you know what it is? I think they get entrenched of the beautiful fantasy Cinderella day.
It's, every little girl's dream.
Yeah. To get married.
To get married in a white dress, and
not force myself to even talk to my girls about the Cinderella thing. I think our parents did it, and the generation before, but I've come to the realization now, like the newer generations that are coming up are making options like, okay, I don't want to have kids. I'm making options like, I don't want to get married. I'm making options that I don't want to buy a house. Like all the things that our parents told us from generation to generation, these are the steps.
Right.
I think now in this society, I think the rules are being changed, where people feel like because I don't do those steps doesn't mean that I'm less of.
Right. Absolutely. To each his own. You got to know what works for you.
Yeah, you always got, and that's what self-love is. That's what self-love day is. You just got to be true to you.
Absolutely.
Not true to what society tells you, but true to what makes you happy inside, because you have to live with yourself. From the moment you are born to the moment, you pass away. This is the only body, the only person that you're going to be with 24/7, 7 days a week. You can't really escape yourself. Right? So why not pour love into yourself? Why not take care of yourself? And if you don't, and if you can't do yourself, I always tell people, why not go seek therapy to help you manage, to help you love yourself, because with insecurities, because we talk about the insecurities, it will mess up a relationship.
Absolutely.
mess up any
Any relationship, even
any
friendship,
relationship.
you know?
Your
Yeah.
friends, your girlfriends, your guy friends, your marriage, your workplace. So not having that self-love in yourself, you're always suspicious, you're always asking questions, you're always on edge, you're always anxiety. It's always like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And then when you're feeling those emotions, you tend to make decisions that are not all about the self-love you have for yourself. It's decisions that later on you regret.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just a couple of more minutes of your time. So we did the check with the marriage. Let's talk about the self-love when it comes to your singing. I just want everyone to know Linda Linn is a professional, amazing singer. She's been doing it for a long time. You should definitely, the next time she has a performance, definitely go check her out, because she definitely gives a performance. And you know, we don't see performances like that anymore. So tell me how you do your self-love with your singing. Just being an artist.
Yeah. Well, it's part of me. I mean, that's not something that I just woke up one day and said, oh, I think I want to try this. You know, I was just, been doing this since I was in grammar school, doing, little plays and little showcases and stuff like that, and then in high school with the talent shows, and and I've always been, intrigued, and I love anything that just it just goes with my personality. It's just something that I like to do, and it's just something, I started
how did you know when you were a kid, just being a regular kid, how did you know, first of all, that you could sing, and how did you know, like, this is what you wanted to do? Like, what inspires you? Like, what happened?
I'll be gonna be honest with you. I don't remember specifically, who, what inspired me or why. I just knew that this is something, I guess it was in me and I would just do it. But it really came down to when I had my first my beauty pageant. I did a beauty pageant at age 16. And I was never into beauty pageants. I never knew anything about that. I actually was approached in high school by these other candidates, two girls who this was their life. This is like a true one of those teenage movies. I was basically recruited, to come participate in this and this beauty pageant. Now, of course, I've never done this. I've never thought of it. I was definitely what you call the underdog. I said, okay. So I just went along with it. I went to the rehearsals, and I went, and I did my part of, because sometimes, the part of it, you have to sell your tickets and your families and, friends. And I did that, but I really remember taking it seriously as well, because, as a candidate, you had to give your speeches, and I remember that my speech was, I had to say something about my native island of Puerto Rico. I chose to speak about it. I did a small speech. I remember borrowing, I think it was my mom's friend's dress. I remember, because I didn't have any dresses. I did my own hair, makeup. So unlike the girls who were already, used to this, that had their dresses made by, the tailor, the tailor and their hair. I was, and surprisingly enough, I won that pageant, which I was surprised. I was like, really? Over the girls who just recruited me? Oh, that must have been gone well with them, But from there on, I was like, oh my God, this is like exciting. I want to pursue this. Even though I didn't go any further into doing any more beauty pageants, but I continue modeling, and I model for quite a few companies, and I did, your print, your ads, so I did a few, and that's just the modeling that got me to meeting people. And I said, I want to do music, this is what I want to do. And that's what I've been doing ever since, it's just a passion, I've been doing such a long time. And like I always say, there's not a limit when I say, well, I'm going to give up, or I'm not going to do it. What if nothing hit off? It's just like, I do it because I love it. So if something comes off of it and, oh my God, it becomes a mega hit, oh my God, great. That's like an added plus. But if nothing happens, I'm still okay with it, because I'm still doing what I love to do. And I know a lot of people that do it are in the same boat. You know, we do it together, and we, you know, we support each other, and it's just like, just doing what you love is as you just did the greatest thing in life, as you just hit, as you know what I'm saying. It's never a downer for me. It's never saying, you know, and I know a lot of people in the industry who I haven't heard from them for a while. And if I hear from them, they're like, "Oh no, yeah, I give up. You know, I don't like the way the music industry is. Oh yeah, it wasn't for me. Oh, it's too hard." And I'm like, how do you give up something that's part of you? How do you just
Mm.
say, "I don't want to do that"? Then it was, you just was doing it for the wrong reasons. Then, you know, because I
Mm-hmm.
can never see myself saying, "Yeah, I give up. I don't want to." Like, as of right now, as my going harder and stronger than ever. You know, so you would think that, because you know, when I was younger, the opportunities came, but it's just not like now. And I just think that it's just taking this long only because I'm just getting started basically now. I think I'm just become more aware, more wiser, more knowledgeable, you know. So I just think now it's just things are starting to come together, and that's what fulfills me, and that's what's making me happy to say, "Oh, I never gave up on my dreams." I definitely believe in, don't give up on your dreams. You know, you keep going. Like, who's to say when, I don't know if you knew, I think it's that, was it the Latin Grammys that just went a couple of months ago?
Mm-hmm.
You had brand new, the, you know, when they give the new artist of the
Yeah,
year
new artist
award,
of the
and
year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe one of the newcomer artists, she was a 80-year-old lady.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like 80 years old, and she went up there and she gave her speech, and she was like, "I am the definition of never give up your dreams." Who would have thought, you know, at 80 years old, that she would get her first Best New Artist of the Year award? What better motivation is that, right?
That is motivation, because don't let society tell you to give up on your dreams. If it's in you, you just keep going. You
Absolutely.
just keep going. Do not let society tell you you're too old. You don't know how to sing. Your voice, it doesn't sound like this. You don't sound like this person. You're never gonna make it. You know what it
Right.
is? That's just people. That's
I
people.
trust me, I know.
That's
I
people.
trust me, I know.
And people come
Right.
with 50 million opinions. And if
All
you
the
just
time.
if you don't listen to that map, that's what self-love day is about. If you don't listen to that map inside of you, you will go cuckoo crazy listening to 50 million people with their 50 million advices. And that's why people
Absolutely.
give up, because it's just like,
Yeah.
it's so depressing. And then, so if you don't have that high self-esteem, that high self-worth, if you don't work on yourself every day to get hold it together, this world will tear you into
Nah, listen,
pieces.
I always believe this, there's enough room for everyone. There's enough
Yes.
space in this world for everybody to shine. This is why I do what I do with my show Could Be You TV. This is what I provided this platform. This is why I love to uplift
Yes.
people, but more women in general. Like, I don't think I've ever felt some type of way towards a woman to be envious or jealous or
Me
insecure, or
either.
you know, if anything, I'm one to embrace, if they're
Me
beautiful, if they
too.
have a nice dress, a pair of shoes, their
I'm
eyes, the
always
way they talk,
complimenting.
whatever.
Always
Always like, oh my
complimenting.
God, you know. And it's just like, oh my God, I could help, and whatever they're doing, I can help. I'm the first one. Well, I think I can help you. Oh my God, let me help you. What I did, I don't know, it's just something that automatically triggers me. I want to be able to help. I
Yeah.
want to elevate, you know. And even if I don't know personally how to, where out, I might know somebody, I might connect you with somebody. I don't know. I'm always trying to connect people. You know, I should just be the known as the plugger.
Me.
I'll be the plugger girl.
I'm known as Miss Share of Information. Like, if I know information,
You
I
mean?
don't even hold it in. I'm like, here you go. Like, because I want everyone to be better. So
Right,
why would I hold on to information when I could just pass it along? And
right.
and and that's why I wanted to give you your flowers. That's why
Thank
I
you.
am
I
so proud
appreciate
of you,
it.
sis. Thank you for coming on my show and blessing my show with your wonderful advice, with your wonderful, like, spirit of life and spirit of love for yourself. Thank you for giving me the time. Thank you,
Thank you so much for
audience.
welcoming, and I want to give you back those flowers for everything that you're doing and everything that you stand for, and I'm proud of you, sis, for that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on your show yesterday. Could Be You TV. Please watch Linda Linn on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on YouTube,
Yes.
Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Roku. Please like, share, and follow. She's an amazing woman. And I just want to say thank you so much, Linda, for coming on
Thank
I'm Proud of
you.
You,
Thank
sis.
you so much. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.